Hi guys, my name is Patrice. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will be doing a library book haul. And now let's get started. I recently checked out 5 books from the library and I want to show them to you and just to give my general feelings, like why I picked the books. The first book that I have is The Other March Sisters, and this is by Linda Epstein, Malinenko, and Liz Parker. And this book is, I guess, a companion piece to Little Women. Now, I haven't read Little Women, but I've watched the movie, like the newest version that came out, and I thought that movie was so beautiful. It was so good. So I definitely have to read the book, but I wanted to pick this up, I think, because Gloria Z, she's another YouTuber, and she had a couple of books that she recently read. One was Marmee, and that was the viewpoint of the March sisters' mom from Little Women. And then there was another book that she read, which was from the dad's viewpoint. And I'm not sure if I want to read either of those, but when I saw this at the library, I said, oh, well, let me check this out and see what's happening. So I was influenced by Gloria Z. And the summary says, I'm sure you believe you know their story from reading that other book, which told you an inspiring tale about 4 sisters. It told you a story, but did it tell you the story? 4 sisters, each as different as can be. Through the eyes and words of Jo, their characters and destinies became known to millions. Meg, pretty and conventional. Jo, stubborn, tomboyish, and ambitious. Beth, shy and good-natured, a mortal angel readily accepting her fate. And Amy, elegant, frivolous, and shallow. But Jo, for all her insight, could not always know what was in her sisters' thoughts or in their hearts. With Jo away in New York, pursuing her dreams of being a writer, Meg, Beth, and Amy follow their own paths. Meg, newly married with young twins, struggles to find the contentment that Marmee assured her would come with domesticity. Unhappy and unfulfilled, she turns to her garden, finding there not just a hobby, but a calling that will allow her to help other women in turn. Beth knows her time is limited. Still, part of her longs to break out of her suffocating cocoon at home, however briefly. A new acquaintance turns into something more, offering unexpected, quiet joy. Amy, traveling in Europe while she pursues her goal of becoming an artist, is keenly aware of the expectation that she will save the family by marrying well. Through the course of her journey, she discovers how she can remain true to herself, true to her art, and true to the love that was always meant to be. By purposefully leaving Jo off the page, authors Liz Parker, Malinenko, and Linda Epstein give the other March sisters room to reveal themselves through conversations, private correspondence, and intimate moments, coming alive in ways that might surprise even daring, unconventional Jo. So, yeah, this sounds good. Like, I really enjoyed that movie. Like, it almost brought me to tears. I think I did cry. I probably did. But I was just checking to make sure this Linda Epstein is not the Linda Epstein that had a hand in the Exonerated 5 convictions, and it is not her. So that's one good thing, because if it was her, I would not be supporting. The next book I picked up is Like Mother by Susan Rieger. And this is a contemporary fiction, and I really love this I really love this cover. It's so like colorful. Look at it, like the pinks and purples. Like this just drew my eye. So I picked it up, and it says, an enthralling, multi-generational family saga about strong-willed women whose lives are unknowingly shaped by the secrets buried in their past. Detroit, 1960. Lila Pereira is 2 years old when her angry, abusive father has her mother committed to an asylum. Lila never sees her mother again. 3 decades later, having mustered everything she has, brains, charm, talent, blonde hair, Lila rises to the pinnacle of American media as the powerful, brilliant executive editor of the Washington Globe. Lila unapologetically prioritizes her career, leaving the rearing of her daughters to her generous husband, Joe. He doesn't mind until he does. I know what that's like. But Grace, their youngest daughter, feels abandoned. She wishes her mother would attend PTA meetings, not White House correspondence dinners. As Grace grows up, she cannot shake her resentment. She wants out from under Lila's shadow, yet the more she resists, the more Lila seems to shape her life. Grace becomes a successful reporter, even publishing a best-selling book about her mother. In the process of writing it, she realizes how little she knows about her own family. Did Lila's mother, Grace's grandmother, die in that asylum? Is refusal to look back the only way to create a future? How can you ever be yourself, Grace wonders, if you don't know where you came from? Spanning generations and populated by complex, unforgettable characters, Like Mother is an exhilarating portrait of family, marriage, ambition, power, the stories we inherit, and the lies we tell to become the people we believe we're meant to be. So, yes, this really drew my eye. I actually read like the first, I think, 5 or 10 pages in the library. The characters so far very, very well written. Um, I really like the characters, so hopefully this will not disappoint. The next book I picked up is The Sisters Grimm by Menna van Praag, and this is a fantasy. Once upon a time, a demon who desired earthly domination fathered an army of dark daughters to help him corrupt humanity. As children, Goldie, Leanna, Scarlet, and Bee dreamed of a strange otherworld, a nightscape of peculiar mists, mysterious falling leaves, and hungry ivy. In the shadowland of Everywhere, the four half-sisters, connected by blood and magic, begin to nurture their elemental powers, learning to control earth, water, air, and fire. But at 13, they are ripped from Everywhere and separated. 5 years later, the sisters still feel the loss of one another and their supernatural strengths, though they have no memory of either. Meanwhile, the sisters are not only beset with escalating challenges in their earthly lives, they're also ignorant of the battle that awaits. On their 18th birthday, they will be subjected to a gladiatorial duel to the death with their father's soldiers. The sisters' only chance for survival lies in rediscovering Everywhere. The sisters have 33 days to discover who they are, where they came from, and what they can do before they must fight for their lives and those they love. So this sounds good. So this drew my attention first because of the title, The Sisters Grimm. So I immediately thought of the Brothers Grimm, and like fairy tales and things. But then when I read the cover and it talked about mastering earth, water, air, and fire, then I thought of Avatar. Like, what is it? Lord have mercy. Like the Nickelodeon show Avatar with Aang and Katara, and Zuko and what was the Earthbender? Uh, tough, tough, tough. So I really love that show. Like my kids got me into watching that, and after a while, I was hooked. I did not enjoy Legend of Korra so much, but that first one um, with Aang, that was top notch. So when I saw, like elements of that in here, I was like, oh yeah, I'm all the way in. So I will be reading that. And the last two books I have are actually part of a trilogy. So the first one is called Shallow Waters, and this is by Anita Kopacz. And this is a fantasy story. So, in this stirring and lyrical debut novel, the Yoruba deity of the sea, Yemaya, is brought to vivid life as she discovers the power of Black resilience, love, and feminine strength in antebellum America. Shallow Waters imagines Yemaya in Orisha, a deity in the religion of Africa's Yoruba people, who is often depicted as a black mermaid cast into 19th century America. We meet Yemaya as a young woman and diligent companion to her mother, long before she has realized the spectacular power she holds to protect those she loves. We travel alongside Yemaya from her native Africa and on to the so-called New World with vivid portraits of life for those carving out an existence on the outskirts of power and lands scarred by violence and plunder. The journey laid out in Shallow Waters will see Yemaya confront the evils of human bondage, transcend time and place in search of a man who sacrifices personal freedom for the chance at hers, and depart on a spiritual journey that unearths the warrior within. In this nourishing work of ritual storytelling, debut novelist Anita Kopacz writes for all who imagine what has been, seek strength in the toil of their ancestors, and dream of what we could become. So what drew me to this was the Black Mermaid. So I have a thing with mermaids. Like I've been obsessed since I was small. Um, my favorite movie of all time is Splash with Daryl Hannah and Tom Hanks. And I just knew if I put some salt water in the tub, my little legs were going to turn into a mermaid tail. Like, I have been obsessed. Like, Disney's The Little Mermaid, like, the original, like, fairy tale of The Little Mermaid. Just obsessed. And this new one that came out with Holly Bailey, you can't tell me nothing. Like, yeah, mermaids are the thing. So when I saw that this was going to be based on like African folklore with their version of mermaids, I'm all in, all in. So like I said, this is the first in a trilogy. And the second one is called The Wind on Her Tongue. And this is the second book. So this is the newest book in the series, and I didn't want to get the newest one without reading the first one. So the second one is about Oya. Oya, the Yoruba deity of the weather, is brought to life during 1870s America in this lyrical and stirring companion to the spellbinding Shallow Waters. Born in Cuba after her mother Yemaya's adventures in the New World, Oya has inherited otherworldly powers from her Yoruba Orisha lineage. Oya's nascent influence over the skies proves to be destructive, posing a threat to her mother and the island of Cuba's safety. Sent to New Orleans to study under Marie Laveau, the queen of voodoo, Oya begins a journey through the still young America, crossing paths with myriad historical figures, including, among others, self-made black millionaire Mary Ellen Pleasant, the outlaw Jesse James, and Chinese-American industrialist Liu Hing. As Oya navigates the landscapes of racism, colorism, and classism, she grapples with her own identity and power, striving to find her place in a fraught and complex society. A moving, vivid exploration of resilience, heritage, and the enduring spirit of a young woman coming into her own. The wind on her tongue transports you to a world where magic and reality intertwine. So again, this is another fantasy by the same author, Anita Kopacz, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how she weaves in this African folklore, because we really don't get too many books that do discuss African folklore, so, or just use that as a basis for their fantasy. N.K. Jemisin, she has a good series. I believe it's like 3 books based on African folklore. And I forgot the series title, but I will link it in my description. I'll make sure to put it in there so you'll have it. And then there was a young adult series of books based on the Mama Wati, and I believe that's like the Haitian, like mermaids, like Haitian folklore, I think, or African. It could be Haitian or African, and that's about like black mermaids. So I will put that in the description as well, both of those series, because they did a good job with weaving in the African folklore, which I thought was pretty cool. So that's all that I picked up on this library trip. If you are reading any of these books, or if you have read any of these books, please let me know in the comments. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.